trip back from Florida, our Norcold 1200 refrigerator bit the dust. The cooling unit on the back of it developed a leak, and it was leaking ammonia everywhere. So we weighed our options, and we decided to go with a residential refrigerator. Several reasons for that. One of them being that hooked up to shore power primarily. In order to get the refrigerator in, I either had to decide to come through the driver's side window right there, side window, or through the front entry door. I'd recently resealed the driver's side window, so I didn't really want to go through there, and I had not sealed the entry door yet, so it seemed like a good time to go ahead and redo that at the same time. So I went through the entry door. I did get it in through there, but barely. I'll pan back over here. And so this is where the old Norcold 1200 was. This one is I'm gonna have to rip this down a little bit up here, and it's gonna take this entire space. I took the front boards off here, and I have to reroute these wires back to the back. And I'm probably gonna trace this supply line back from the refrigerator and cap it off at the source. And I had to take a duct, a small 2-inch duct, out from the furnace. It was routed under here and over to a duct, a vent register right here. That's where I'm at currently. This refrigerator is going to take basically the whole entire space from here all the way up to the top. And I may have to carve out a little areas where the hinges come in at the top, but it's not a big deal. I mean, I say that, but we'll see. It is going to cut. It is not going to take the entire space, so I got to cut a little bit of this out, and I'll probably leave most of this just so it's solid mounted here and here. So I'm going to probably divide the difference. I'm trying to decide on that yet, but I'm going to insulate all this up. This basically just has the regular sidewall insulation, so I'm going to put some foam insulation, foam board insulation back there, and just clean this up and get those items rerouted and stuff. Alright, I'm continuing with my residential refrigerator project out here. It may look like I've got a huge amount of done, but in reality it hasn't been a terrible lot. All I did on the side over here was take 1-inch foam board, and I kind of just fastened it to, I used a window and door foam sealant and just sprayed it behind it. It kind of acts like a glue or an adhesive type thing. And on the back, I just cut pieces and did the same thing. I bonded it. I completely sealed up this top refrigerator vent here. I sealed it up, and then I put bonded these panels there. I sealed a hole up down there. I capped this. This is the refrigerator line. I capped it. Kind of moved my lines forward. There's a void underneath the refrigerator, and it appears that I'm going to be able to put all these lines right in the middle of the refrigerator, and it will set over them. So if it does not, the process is going to be much more involved. So I'm crossing my fingers that it will just sit right in the middle and be no problem. Here I took some boards. These are actually the boards that were underneath it, and I just turned them on the side. Brad nailed them in here. So I got a block top, middle, and on the bottom as well. And then I put a screw in each block, as well as the brad nails. So there's 2 boards. These are just some furring back aisle boards. I'm using them as furring strips more or less. So same thing here, screwed it there in the middle and then the bottom. And then it's going to leave my refrigerator space about 1/4 to 1/2 inch, somewhere around there on each side. And I'll got some face boards that I'll trim it in, and it'll be all nice and stable. Then I'm going to screw the front down to this board, and I'm hoping to be able to come in through the back and fasten it down as well. I also relocated my electrical plug over here, and I should be able to reach it pretty easily as I slide it in. So we'll see. I went to go slide it in just a minute ago, and I found out that this board right here is way too low in order for me to get it over those cords and stuff. So what I'm gonna do is, well, I cut this board off. It doesn't go all the way back, it's just on the front here. I cut it off, and I'm gonna screw it to the top, and I'll glue it back in. I'll just put some brackets or straight pieces, and it'll go right back in the same spot, and it'll hold the refrigerator down really well, because it's only like an 1/8 inch clearance between the refrigerator and it. So we'll see. I may have to carve that board back a little bit to make recesses for the door hinges on the refrigerator, because it'll be too tall. But I'm gonna wait and see where it falls when I get back in there, and then I'll cut that up as needed. Right. Whew. Well, fits. Kinda. Let's go outside and see what it looks like on the back, on that vent area. Alright, I'm out here at my vent. I'm gonna plug in here. There's the plug. It looks like this is a low profile plug in the refrigerator, so there's my plug. Outlet duplex. It should fit in there pretty easily, so I'm not too concerned about that. I think it'll fit just fine. This thing is okay for now. I'll probably put something, but it's pretty stable. Look down here. Looks like I can put screws right there. I might probably put a self-tapping one right there as well. So it looks like it's pretty clear. It's up on my drain line here. This is the drain line from the kitchen sink. So, and if you look in there, those copper pipes are moving. You can see there, they're not bound up or anything. Shouldn't get any contact in there. Shouldn't have any contact under there, so that's all good. Alright, so I'm back inside, and I'm looking here. Of course, my freezer, it's a bottom freezer unit. Freezer door is going to come out a couple inches. But this extra foot here, I think is just going to be in the way. Catching toes and feet and stuff. So I think it extends beyond the freezer door just half an inch or so, and it's just completely unneeded. So I'm going to look into it, but I might slide this forward a little bit, take this foot off, and see about putting a bracket here, angle bracket that come down here, so I can anchor it to it better. But it is fitting. But either the refrigerator is sideways or the cabinetry was built sideways. For some reason, I don't think the new refrigerator is, so I'm gonna guess the old cabinetry is kind of janky, a little bit out of square, but it's nothing we can't work with. Got a little gap on the bottom, about half. I'm gonna button up here, but I think it'll be all right. We'll just make it work. Put some trim boards over it, and it'll be all right. So that's where we're at. I'm gonna see about these feet, taking them off. I'm not plugging in yet until I get the doors on and stuff, and we'll go from there. So, yep, pulled it back out again. So I could not get to these feet with it inside the cavity. So these feet, these are like the leveling feet, and then these are the leveling feet attached to those. This is a metal bracket underneath this plastic here. So when you're working under there, you tip it back or tip it on its back. You take out these two outside screws. It's a 5/16 or a Phillips. Take out these two, and this falls out. In order to get out them, you really got to line up these. You can line these up right here. You can get on pretty good. So once you figure that out, there's two other bolts just like these that are on the inside of each foot. 4 bolts total per foot. 2, and take out this, and then you can get the other 2. You can't get the other 2 with this in there. So you know, I'm gonna do that real quick. Set it back up in there again, and see if I can figure some brackets out. I may take these off, take the plastic off, cut it back a little bit, and just bend this down at like a 90 so it comes out and down. Reuse the same material that's on it. So I'm gonna check that out, or I got a bunch of angle brackets I can put on it as well. So I've got my 2 foot brackets here. What I did was cut a notch in them like this. Then I cut the end off. And I could take my adjustable wrench, you can slide it right on there. And then your pliers, like so. And that bends pretty easy into this shape here. Now I took that, there's a screw off leveling foot. I took that off, and on the front, the up and this forward support's primarily just going to be this wheel, but it's going to be screwed in on this bracket in theory. So I'm going to go, the foot won't fit on it though because of this, to pull this angle down on it, so it won't fit. But I'm going to go see if this piece right here will actually put it up on the refrigerator and see how it looks. And we'll see from there. So there we go, it is in yet again. We'll go down here and show you this. These are the feet and the, you can't see them, but the wheels are barely onto the mounting surface there. So I'll put a 3/4 inch board back here behind this and screw that up and anchor it in really well. Probably like some 3-inch lag bolt, some kind of longer 3-inch bolt with a good head on it, so it'll go all the way down to there. Do that on each side, and the front will be anchored. I'm gonna go outside right now because right now the back is quite a bit farther down than the front. I'm trying to even that up and see what we can do with that. So I believe I got it all leveled up. I'll show you outside what I did in just a second. but it's looking like it's pretty. I mean, it ain't perfect, but it's pretty dang good. Especially once I anchored on the bottom, then I think it'll be good. So there it is. That's where it will be setting. Now I'll go show you outside what I did. Alright, here we are outside. And I'll show you what I did in here. I took like a 2.5 by 3/4 inch, 3/4 inch thick, 2.5 inch wide board. And I cut it to just inside the 2 wheels. In the back. The other one's over there. Back in there. It's not focusing, but it's back in there. And I cut it just to that length. Took my crowbar. And, well, I slid the board up in there, and then I just picked it up. And that's it. Now I'm going to take some screws and screw right down. I'm going to take some screws and screw right down through this. The board's flush up against this. So that's what I'll do. I'll take that and screw down through there. The refrigerator's in. As you can tell, I still have trim work to do. And I've got to put the board across here as well. But the doors are in. I mean, that's the freezer in. It's anchored. Sorry. Across there. But it is in. It's powered on. I really like the refrigerator so far. I haven't put these doors in. It's nice. Frigidaire in it. I'll put the model number down in the description. It's a counter depth refrigerator. That's also why it costs so much. But it was still less than the cooling unit for the Norcold 1200. The complete cooling unit was still more expensive than this refrigerator. So there's that. I'll do a completion video when I have the trim on. Other than that, this video is pretty much done. Just showing the insulation. Trim is pretty simple. I'll trim it and paint it.